Hello and welcome to another episode of Disney Movie Investigation. If this is your first time watching, welcome to the show. In each episode, we take a look at a movie that is featured on Disney+. On this episode, we are going into the world of canines as we take a look at Because of Winn-Dixie. And stay tuned for our bonus story as we take a look at the Discovery Riverboats, the former attraction at Disney's Animal Kingdom. And if you are enjoying these videos, I do ask that you please hit that subscribe button. That way you'll be notified with each new video. But for now, sit back and enjoy this episode of Disney Movie Investigation. So like I said, today we're covering Because of Winn-Dixie. This movie was released on January 26, 2005. It was directed by Wayne Wang, and it was based on the novel Because of Winn-Dixie by Katie DeCamio. The production companies were Walden Media, and it was distributed by 20th Century Fox. The budget was $14 million, and it did a box office return of $33.3 million. In terms of the production, the movie was shot on location in Napoleonville, Louisiana, and lead actress AnnaSophie Robb was brought on early to get acquainted with the dogs so that they would be comfortable with her on camera. Winn-Dixie, the dog, was played by multiple Picardy Shepherds, and because it was the breed closely resembling the photo on the novel cover page. The dogs were actually brought in from France, though, because none were available within the United States. So let's take a look at the cast. So we have AnnaSophie Robb, who plays Indiana Opal Baloney. Jeff Daniels plays Mr. Baloney. Cecilia Tyson plays Gloria Dump. Luke Benward plays Stephen Denward. Dave Matthews plays Otis. Eva Marie Saint plays Mrs. Franny Block. And Ellen Fanning plays Sweetie Pie Thomas. In terms of the plot, a girl named Opal moves into a new home in a trailer park. She has no friends, and her father is always doing something. He sends her to the Winn-Dixie grocery store to get some food. When she gets there, something is going on. People are chasing a dog. He jumps on the manager, who tells the workers to call the pound. Opal does not want him to go there, so she says it is her dog. She names him Winn-Dixie after the supermarket where she has found him. She goes home to ask her father for permission if she can keep him. He lets her do so, and she makes a lot of new friends that summer. She almost loses Winn-Dixie at a thunderstorm at a party, and they make friends with the kids at her family's church and old people who are smart and wise. Opal learns a lesson that you cannot hold on to people who do not want to be held on to. So in terms of recommending this movie is very generic. And it's basically the story, lonely child finds dog makes his life better. The problem with the movie is that nothing really happens in the movie. After they get the dog, you see a series of short scenes between Opal and the dog, but there's nothing really of significant, and the story doesn't build to actually anything. Yes, the community does bond together with the dog, but the exception with the dog winning people over, there's no real conflict. Like, there's no arising action or anything. It doesn't really build to a climax. I think the climax is the dog being lost in the rain. But that feels really disappointing as a viewer, because as the problem is quickly solved and then the movie's just over. Like, it doesn't really resolve itself. Like, I think they keep the dog, but it's not really sure. Because at the beginning of the movie, it says that they're in the trailer park for only a short little bit. But again, that's not resolved. So it just seems like this was they thought, okay, we'll have a movie with a cute dog. But then after that, it's like, oh yeah, we need a story too. And then it was quickly, we'll work itself out. Unfortunately, this one, I would say skip it, because there are much better dog movies out there, especially like Marley and Me, or The Art of Racing in the Rain is another one that we reviewed earlier in this series as well, which is a way better movie. So let's move on to our bonus story as we take a look at the Discovery Riverboats. This was a former attraction at Disney's Animal Kingdom, and the boats would dock between the Safari Village and Asia section of the park. The ride was a non-stop boat ride that would take guests past the Tree of Life and along the area-themed lands in Animal Kingdom. Guests were shown small animals that had been brought on board. The captain would also walk down the aisle and point out items along their journey. Some of these scenes included the fire-breathing dragon outside the former Camp Mini section, as a preview for the unbuilt Beastly Kingdom section. It also included geysers in Africa and a bathing iguana outside of Dinoland, USA. In November 1998, the theme was rethemed, calling it the Discovery River Taxi, and then again rethemed to the Radio Disney Cruise in March of 1999. So that's kind of a telling tale right there. During this run, the taxis would play commentary from Radio Disney DJs, and guests were told that this was being broadcast live from the top of the Tree of Life. With this new attraction, the animals were no longer brought on board. The other major change is the guests could actually not leave the ride from the starting dock and would not stop until they got to the other dock. The ride would close in the summer of 1999 as many guests would leave disappointed not actually seeing any animals, and the ride not being advertised as simply a transportation system. It basically turned into where it was a boat would take you from one section of the park to the other park. This was being advertised, though, as a ride where you'd be able to see animals. So obviously guests were leaving disappointed. So the ride would close in the summer of 1999, like I said. And currently the dock that was in the Asia section is repurposed for a meet and greet for Baloo and King Louie. So thank you so much for joining us here on Disney Movie Investigation. I would love for anyone to leave a comment of what they think of the movie Because of Winn-Dixie, as well as if you were one of the lucky few to take the Discovery riverboats or the Radio Disney riverboats. I would love to hear what your opinion of was on that ride. I never got to do them, so it'd be interesting to see your guys' perspective. So as we look forward to our next episode, we are going to be taking a look into the Disney afternoon as we take a look at DuckTales, the movie, The Treasure of the Lost Lamp. And we also will include a brief history of Disney afternoon. So until next time, I hope you have a magical day, and we will see you real soon.